You smell it first, something musty, oily, slightly sweet. The kind of smell that doesn't belong in a kitchen, but somehow lives in every kitchen. Then you hear it, a skitter, right next to your ear. Your eyes open. You're lying on your side on something cold, linoleum, slightly tacky, the faint smell of old grease. You sit up, and the wall in front of you keeps going. Up, up. You're not looking at a wall, you're looking at the side of a refrigerator. And it's the size of a skyscraper. You've been shrunk down to about 3 millimeters tall. You're standing in the gap behind a kitchen refrigerator. 3 in the morning. The whole house is asleep, but you're not alone down here. Something just moved past you, fast, low to the ground, the size of a delivery truck. It stops. Two long antennae lift into the air and sweep slowly, tasting the molecules around it. Then it turns and skitters into a crack at the base of the wall. You follow. Because tonight, you're going inside a cockroach nest. The crack is barely wide enough for your shoulders. You push through, and the world opens up. You're standing in what entomologists call a harborage. The technical name for a cockroach nest. It's not a constructed nest like a wasp's. It's not engineered like a termite mound. It's just a dark, warm, humid crack in the world. And it's packed. Cockroaches cover every surface, adults the size of tour buses, smaller ones no bigger than cars, and tiny ones the nymphs, packed in clusters like grapes. They don't notice you, not yet, because they aren't really looking at anything. They're following a chemical conversation. Every cockroach you can see is leaving behind a tiny chemical signature called an aggregation pheromone. The smell you noticed when you woke up, it's the smell of, "This is a safe place. Come here, stay here." A single roach finds a warm crack and starts leaving the pheromone. Another finds the trail and stays. Then another. Then another. Within weeks, a single crack behind a fridge can hold 500 individuals. In a badly infested apartment, the colony can climb past 30,000. And here's the unsettling part. There's no queen. There's no king. No leader, no supervisor, no central plan. This entire civilization is just a chemical agreement to live together. You take a careful step deeper into the crack. An adult turns its head towards you. Its antennae extend and brush your shoulder. You freeze. These antennae have over 300,000 sensory receptors. They smell, they taste, they feel air movement. They can detect a single molecule of food from across the room. But you don't smell like food. You don't smell like a roach either. So it does the most cockroach thing possible. It ignores you. You don't matter. You're not edible. You're not a threat. You're not a chemical it recognizes. You exhale and keep moving. Everywhere you step, there are Uthicae, egg cases. Each one looks like a small leather purse, dark brown, segmented, and inside each one, between 16 and 50 embryos. In 1996, entomologist Kobe Schall at North Carolina State University documented something that, frankly, sounds like science fiction. He confirmed that female German cockroaches, the species you're standing inside right now, can reproduce without a male. It's called parthenogenesis, asexual reproduction. Lock 15 females in a sealed container with no males, no mating, no contact for years, and you'll come back to a thriving colony. The species refuses to end. A single fertilized female can produce roughly 400 descendants in her lifetime. In a year, those descendants can fill an entire apartment building. And here's the thing. You haven't even gotten to the weird part yet. You keep walking. The crack opens into a wider chamber where dozens of roaches are doing something unsettling. They're eating each other. Not killing each other, eating shed exoskeletons, eating the dead. Eating their own droppings. Cockroaches are coprophages. They eat feces, their own, each other's. It sounds disgusting. It is disgusting. But it's also why nothing goes to waste in here. Every molecule of nutrient is recycled. The colony produces almost no garbage. A nymph, the juvenile stage, will molt up to 7 times before becoming an adult. Each shed skin is immediately eaten by another roach. This is one of the reasons they're so hard to kill. And that brings us to the thing everyone has heard, but nobody really believes. A cockroach can live without its head for up to a week. Unlike you, a cockroach doesn't breathe through its mouth or nose. It breathes through small holes along the sides of its body called spiracles. It doesn't have centralized blood pressure. It doesn't need a brain to keep its heart beating because its nervous system is decentralized. Each segment of its body has its own cluster of nerve tissue called a ganglion. Cut off the head, the body keeps walking, keeps reacting, keeps breathing. It only dies because without a mouth, it can't drink water. Let that land for a second. This is an animal that doesn't need its head to live. It just needs its head to find water. And it gets worse. In the 1950s, the US military exposed cockroaches to radiation to see if they could survive a nuclear war. A human dies from a radiation dose of about 400 rads. A cockroach can take up to 10,000 rads and walk away. That's roughly 25 times more resistance than you have. The reason is biology. Their cells divide more slowly and only during the molting. Radiation damages cells most aggressively when they're dividing. So most of the time, a cockroach is in a low vulnerability state your body never enters. The asteroid that killed the dinosaurs 66 million years ago. Cockroaches were already on Earth. They had been on Earth for 200 million years before that. They watched mammals show up. They watched the first primates climb down from the trees. They watched humans invent fire, agriculture, cities, kitchens. Roaches are not visiting your home. You are the new arrival in theirs. You're standing in the deepest part of the nest now. It's hot. The body heat of thousands of insects raises the local temperature several degrees above the rest of the apartment. It's humid. Their breathing alone fogs the air. And then you feel it before you see it. A vibration in the floor, heavy, rhythmic, coming closer. Every cockroach in the chamber freezes at the exact same moment. Then they explode. Bodies slam past you. Antennae whip across your face. You're knocked off your feet and barely roll out of the way as a wave of roaches pours over the spot you were just standing. You scramble against the wall and turn to look at what they're running from. A house centipede, twice as long as the biggest cockroach. 15 pairs of legs that move in eerie synchronized waves. 2 compound eyes scanning the chamber. Venomous fangs called forcipules already extended. This is what hunts cockroaches in the wild dark behind your walls. You didn't know this. Almost no one does. The centipede strikes. It moves so fast your eyes can't follow. It pins a roach against the floor and injects venom through its forcipules. The roach stops moving in less than 2 seconds. You run. You sprint along the wall, dodging panicked roaches, climbing over a shed exoskeleton, ducking under an adult that's frozen in shock. The centipede sees you. It pivots. You're not a cockroach. You're not what it came for, but you're moving and you're small, and that's enough. A sliver of light cuts through the darkness up ahead, the crack you came in through. You sprint for it as the legs of the centipede tap against the floor right behind you. You dive. You hit the linoleum hard, roll, scramble to your feet. The centipede stops at the edge of the crack. It doesn't follow into the open. It retreats back into the dark where it actually belongs. You stand there shaking 3 millimeters tall, alone behind a refrigerator at 3 in the morning. Behind you, the colony settles back down. The roaches return to the chamber. The chemical conversation resumes. The pheromone trails fill back in. The centipede begins to feed in the dark. The world inside the wall keeps running exactly as it did before you arrived. You wake up in your bed, normal size. The sun is starting to come up, the kitchen is quiet, the refrigerator hums. You walk in and pour yourself a glass of water, and somewhere behind that fridge, hidden in a crack you've never looked into, a colony is running. 500 individuals, maybe more. A female grooming her ootheca with 16 embryos inside. A nymph molting for the 4th time. A pheromone trail filling in along the baseboard. A centipede waiting in the dark. You built this kitchen. You bought this fridge. You signed the lease, but this isn't your home. It's theirs. They've been here for 300 million years. You'll be lucky to last another 1,000.